Hi, today's lesson is on So Beautiful by Pete Murray. Right, so it's quite a simple song in a way. There's reasonably simple strum pattern to it. There's a couple of sequences. There's a verse sequence, which is also used for the intro, a chorus sequence, and then there's a bridge and a pre-chorus, which are very, very simple. You know, there's not much to those at all. So I'll just talk about the verse sequence first, which is also the intro. We've got capo 3rd fret, so your strings should sound like this. And when I talk about the chord names, as always using the capo, I'm going to refer to what the chords look like, not what they actually are. So this is D. It's not really D, but I'd call it D because that's what it looks like. So the first one's an E minor. I'll talk about the chord shapes and I'll look at the rhythm. The next one is an A7 sus4, which is this. So from the E minor, what I did was take this finger away, move that one down to the 4th string, and then add the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And I'm not playing the E string, so counting from the 5th, we've got open, 2, open, 3, open. Then there's a passing chord of a G over B, and what you do here is just move 1st finger back to the 5th string, but leave that one where it is. And that's technically it's the middle 4 strings, but it's all part of the strumming. You try to avoid hitting that one. Doesn't matter too much about that one, but it's technically that chord is just these 4. 2, open, open, 3. That's a G over B, but it's very quick because it's a passing chord. So we've got E minor, A7 sus4, the passing chord, then C add 9. You keep this finger here, move that one back to the 4th string again where it was a minute ago, and then add 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Again, we're not playing the low E here. You can catch the high E, doesn't matter if you do or not. I can't really hear him hitting this in the song, but it will sound okay if you do. So from the 5th string we've got 3, 2, open, 3, and then an open on the end if you want. And the last chord is a variation of an A sus2. It's a really nice shape, this one. A lot of people play this song, I think, with just a standard A sus2, which is that. But what I think he's doing is leaving the 1st finger where it was for the C add 9, so 4th string, 2nd fret. Add 3rd finger here, so that's the 3rd string, 4th fret, and that note is exactly the same note as the 2nd string, which is open. So what we've got, we're not playing the E string, we've got open, 2, 4, open, open, but 2 of those notes are identical. And again with this one, the open E, I can't really hear him playing that one, but it won't matter if you do catch that one. They're the main chords in the verse. E minor, A7 sus4, passing chord of G over B, C add 9, and then the unusual shape for an A sus2. Now on the end there's a couple of passing chords. There's a lot of passing chords in this song. And the first one, you keep the A sus2 that we ended on and add 2nd finger on this bass note here, 3rd fret on the E string. Now he doesn't really play the whole chord there, but it's mainly the bass note, but I can tell that his fingers are just staying there. It's going like that. And then take that finger away, move the 1st finger up to the 2nd fret of the E string and just hit that note. Probably leaving that finger there, but again it's mainly a bass note we're hearing here. So it's this chord, and then this bass note, and this bass note. I'm just going to play that little section for you so you can hear what I mean. It's like that. I'll play that whole sequence and you'll get the gist of what the rhythm is here. So the basic strum pattern is down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. As with any strum pattern, what's important is that this arm keeps moving. It doesn't matter too much if you don't do that exact strum that I just said, because he doesn't stick exactly to that all the way through. But that's roughly what he's doing. So it's down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. Keep that arm moving and be aware that there's a bit of a gap between the first two strums. Look. And that happens in quite a lot of strums, especially songs of this kind of pace, not too fast. You often get that where the first strum happens and then your arm moves, you don't hit the strings, then you hit the strings on that one. Slowly, it seems really strange to do that, but that's what it is. That kind of thing. So that sequence I just played was the intro and the verse. So the intro is just that sequence once, and then the first verse is that sequence 4 times. Right, the pre-chorus, very simple. It only happens once in the song. This, you just play an E minor, let it ring for 1 bar. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Right, the chorus, quite a simple sequence as well. Starts on the E minor again. Then we go to an A minor 7, which is that. So you keep the second finger on and you kind of pivot round to get the A minor 7. So there's E minor, you probably know that one. This finger stays here. The first finger goes to 2nd string, 1st fret. That's 5 strings, so we don't play the low E. So we've got open 2, open 1, open. And when he goes into that chord, he kind of hammers on to this note. So he actually goes like that. And he seems to do that every time, so it's not just a one-off thing. I'll show you what it means. So I'll play the E minor to that one. So you hear how I went, and that's quite a nice little touch. And then just before he goes to the next chord, he kind of takes that finger away again. So you get the open 2nd string ringing out. That's a very sort of insignificant kind of passing chord, really, that one. But I think the hammer on at the beginning is a bit more important. So it's E minor, A minor 7 via the hammer on, and then kind of lift that off again just before you change. Then we go to D. More passing chord. Sometimes he lifts that finger off on the D. So it's called D sus2. I know I'm being a bit vague about this, but the chord for the song is D. But occasionally you just hear him take that finger off just before he changes to the next chord. And then we've got C. And then this next one's kind of a D add 11. It's a C chord shape, which we're already on, which you move along 2 frets. So C, I'm sure you know, but just in case, we don't play the E string. We've got 3, 2, open, 1, open. And you move that shape along 2 frets. So now we've got 5, 4, open, 3, open. That's a nice chord. It's a variation on D. A lot of songs have that one in. And that's the sequence. E minor, A minor 7 with the hammer on. D, maybe take that one off occasionally. C, and the D add 11. I'll just play around that twice. And that's the chorus. Right, the bridge, this only happens once in this exact way in the song, and it's quite simple. What happens is he plays an E minor just at the end of that chorus. So the first beat of the bridge, he just hits an E minor and lets it ring. Now there's a keyboard in this song as well, and the keyboard plays 2 chords, plays the E minor and then an A minor 7. So if you're playing this just on a guitar, you might want to go. that's the end of the bridge. But if you're playing just the guitar part, you just play the E minor, 2, 3, 4, keyboard changes the chord. Now the next verse, bearing in mind the guitar didn't play on part of that bridge we've just done, it's just keyboard. The next verse is 3 times round the verse chord sequence that we played earlier. So in verse 1 it was 4 times round, this verse is only 3 times round, and the guitar is still left out of the first 2, so it's just the keyboard. Now if you're playing this just on a guitar, you'd want to just play the chords anyway, but it's the same as the first verse. Same chords. Round 3 times. If you're playing along with a song, then you don't play on the first 2 of those, so you just join in for the third one. So verse 2 then leads straight into the next chorus. Now the next chorus is the same as the previous chorus, but instead of going 4 times round the sequence, which we did on the first chorus, not sure if I mentioned that, but it was 4 times round. On this chorus, it's only twice round. I'll just quickly demonstrate this chorus. Then we're into an instrumental section where it's just an extension of that last chorus really. The guitar carries on playing the chorus sequence twice more. So even though I said this chorus, or the chorus we just played, was only twice through the sequence and the previous chorus was 4 times, this one's kind of 4 times because it's twice and then instrumentally twice more. And on the end of that you just hit an E minor and let it ring for 2 bars. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Verse 3, exactly the same chord sequence that we did for the other verses. This time we go around 3 times. So that's the same as verse 2, except the guitar is playing all the way through this time. Just that sequence 3 times. The last chorus, chorus number 3, same as the other chorus, but you go around 4 times like we did on the first one, and on the very end just hit an E minor. So I'm just going to play that whole chorus for you with the ending. And that's the whole song. So not too difficult. You might find the strumming a little bit of a challenge if you haven't played that kind of strum pattern before, but remember what I said about keeping that arm moving. That's the key thing. That's to keep moving at that same speed, even though there's a big gap at the beginning of the pattern. Yeah, good song. Any questions, please put them in the comments, and if you want to suggest other songs that you want to see lessons on, then please do. If you like this one, click like, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, thanks.